Welcome to Domain to Profit. I am Drew Wash. This is a live show. If you're joining me live, awesome to have you. If you're joining on Restream, try to join us. 3 p.m. Eastern Time, Mondays, we get together 143 weeks in a row to look through expiring domain names, talk about domain names, talk about domain names as businesses, as well as domain names as investments. Lots of money to be made, lots of profits to be made from domains. Domain to profit, that's what we're here for. So if you're here with me live, make sure you are saying hi in the chat to let everybody know that you are here. And the community is much of why joining us live is always the best way to do it. Mostly because you get to check in with all of them, all of you that are out there popping in. Jeffrey, I already see you popping in. David, nice to have you. So here we go, Domain to Profit. See you, and we'll get started after this.
From domain to profit, from a .com to a business idea. Take a domain name, develop an income from domain to profit. We'll show you how. Domain to profit, from domain to profit. Join Drew Wash and get started right now.
My daughter, my 8-year-old daughter told me, she said, "Dad, I think you should change your theme song to just slide in a Drew to Profit." I'm like, why would I do that? And it just, she's always creating. She'll be here with me. She'll be hosting this as a someday. So we get to look through expiring domain names today. Let me see. Jeffrey popping in. I gave him the first place medal here, first comment of the day, as well as David. Been chatting with on Twitter as well. Nice to see you all popping in. I see some over on Discord as well, which, speaking of, you gotcha here as well, entrepreneur names. And then I'm also going to put up the Discord URL up there. If you have not visited the Discord, join us. Love to have you. So here and Fred, see you popping in, L Couch as well. Lots of people popping in. Thank you all for joining. Always nice to have you here. You're why I do this, to hang out with you. Okay, and a little bit of this. And the domain names. Domain names! It's that kind of day. Yeah, exactly. Fred, Domain to Profit Party, what? If you don't got it, you can manufacture it, I guess. Okay. So what we do here on Domain to Profit, as you know, we go to expireddomains.net. We set up our filters, which I will put that QR code up there as well. Bing! There you go. So check that out, the QR code. Scan that will take you to the video to show the filters. It is also on YouTube. In the description, you can get to that video. Basically, we're filtering it down to where out of hundreds of thousands of domain names, we get it down to 112,000 domain names today. We're only going to be looking through the top 200 to 300 as ordered by the valuation over here. So valuation is GoDaddy's, well, their appraisal for a domain name. It does not mean it is the value of domain name. There you go. You can look through 140 weeks to hear all the other disclaimers about that. If you assume it's the value, you will go broke. So we ordered by value, and we just start right at the top and start going down. So what are these domain names? These are the domain names through GoDaddy. GoDaddy, the largest registrar that's out there. There are many other registrars that push in through GoDaddy's auction system. So the domain names we're going to see right over here are going to be the domain names that are truly expiring this week. We look week to week. So each week we look at the domains that are expiring this week. So you'll see here, top one, most valuable domain name is veganlife.com, which not a bad domain name. Sounds like a magazine or something. Magnifico. We got some Italian happening here. That one, those two domain names are Vegan Life already up over $5,000. Magnifico over $27,000 already. We're going to skip over those because they're going for so much. But if you're looking for big domains and big money, check those out for sure. And yeah, entrepreneurship names, talking about taggers.com. I like that one as well. Taggers.com, beautiful moments above it. But clicking on taggers, what are going to be taggers? Who knows? Like taggers, like back in the old day, we used to have the price taggers. You used to put the number and you just go through the items and put the price tag on it. That's old school. That's really old school, actually. Okay, well, taggers.com, let's go check this one out. It's already up over $5,000. That is unusual, and we will see lots of domain names that are way cheaper than that today. So don't think that here on Domain to Profit, we only look at the expensive ones. We actually typically try to look at the cheaper domain names, but because a couple of us already like this one, I do what the chat says, and I like this domain name. So 135 searches. So with these domain names, we don't just stop at a domain name we like. Oh, I like that domain name. Let's go. No, we look at the data behind the domain name. So if you are starting off in your domain investment, domain development world, then this step here, going to spyfoo.com, is critical for you to understand and use, because if you're starting off, every domain name is either going to sound like it's great or it's going to sound like trash. But what you need to make sure you're doing is using data to help you form your opinions and not just go off of, well, your opinions. I've been doing domain evaluations for like nearly 20 years now, and I'm looking down at the clock like that's going to tell me. Been doing this for nearly 20 years, and I still check myself out on keyword data like spyfoo.com here. So 135 searches for taggers. What are taggers? I have no idea. Looking at the similar keyword data up here, I see some MP3 tagger, shop tagger, that Netflix tagger. Not sure what these are. So maybe you know what they are. Oh, there we go. So this is the money section, right down in the column on that first one. Cost per click is $4.52. That is where we want to see. We want to see $2 or higher on that. We have it. That's good. The only thing is we see advertisers here is only one of them. So only one advertiser. So I don't know. So basically, this is not the kind of domain name I would probably be looking at, other than it's kind of a, it's an okay domain. Anyhow, if you love it, you love it. If not, we move on, and I'm moving on. Quoters.com. I do like Quoters.com, except for I will say I'd probably prefer Quoter. Quoters as plural. Not a huge fan of plural on that one. So, but anytime you see a single keyword like those, they usually have some form of value. Just almost is a way to go broke is one of the things you hear here pretty frequently. Almost good domains are dangerous because almost is zero. The difference between great and zero is often one single letter of a domain name. So if you make the mistake of thinking, oh, there's an S on the end or this or that and it's no big deal, and the keyword data says it is a big deal, no, it's a big deal. Don't just assume. So breakingground.com, didn't see that one in pre-show. I just kind of looked through a little bit. Elegant Weddings, going to skip over that one. Innovation Engineering, Fresh Mint, I mentioned that one. I think we showed that one last week as well. I don't mind it. We all know Peter Askew, who is out on Twitter with Vidalia Onions, onions.com, and he enjoys doing that. So maybe if you want to sell fresh mint on the internet, there you go, freshmint.com. However, I will say freshmint.com, $13.82 is what it's currently going for. So see if I can do anything to approve my green screen there. Okay, anyhow. Alrighty, freshmint.com, $13.82. I'm already out on it. Not going to pay over $1,000 for that domain name, but it is a good one for sure. So, Breaking Ground though, that's the one I did not see, and I'm pretty excited about. BreakingGround.com. 5 days left. $426 is the current domain. Let's go check it out in SpyFu. So because we are looking at only .com domain names, we can evaluate these domain names as keywords versus domain names. So what you see me doing here is taking the domain name, dropping the .com, and looking at the keywords that make up that domain name. If you approach these domain names with, if you try to do the same thing with a .io, a .net, a .org, other domain names, the data may be able to assist you, but you cannot make the same assumptions that we get to make with .com. That is why we only look at .com, is because it's already established. It's the foundation of domains. Everybody wants the .com, and you may settle or be able to use other domain names depending on what you're looking to do, but .com's the foundation. Because of that, because it's rock solid, we already all know .com, the keyword gets to assist you the most with the evaluation of the domain. Breaking Ground, 2,000 searches we have going for that. And then let's go down and check out the money, which this is pretty much what I would expect. One advertiser, less than $1 cost per click. Nothing really too spectacular there. What would we use for it? Breaking Ground? I have no idea. Maybe you could sell the big ribbons that you do ribbon cuttings for or something. Breaking Ground. You know, when I evaluate a domain name, one of the things I really try to do is make sure that the domain name paints a picture in my brain. It needs to let me know what it wants on it. I'm not here to, you can use any domain name you want to create anything you want. The domain names that have the value, the excessive value, thousands, tens of thousands of dollars, those domain names tell you what should be on them. BreakingGround.com, what should be on that domain name? I don't know. And because I don't know, that means it's hard for me to use this data to really generate a value or what this domain name would be developed as to make a profit. For that reason, it kind of falls in a broad category of either a marketing domain name or just a personal use domain name that might be a great blog or something like that, which really puts a cap on the value of the domain name, in my opinion, under $4,000. And because it's already going, well, it's $426. That's not too bad. But you got to watch out on a domain name like this. You're not going to probably ever see a 5-figure sale or anything like that out of it. It's going to be a domain name. Think of it like a blog. If you really wanted this domain name, what would you pay to have for it? A couple $1,000, maybe up to $4,000. Some might say, well, you can create a product and call it Breaking Ground or something like that. Yeah, you can create a product for anything. And that's really where we run into issues with value in domain names, is if it's not really solid, then who knows. I like entrepreneur names here. He's saying Breaking Ground would be good for construction equipment. Yeah, I agree with that. That sounds pretty good. Like Breaking Ground, I can see construction, construction companies, construction equipment. There's a lot you can do with it. I don't know if it paints a picture like of what should be on it or not, but it certainly would be a good domain for a construction company. Still going to stick with my idea that probably it's capped at about $4,000 though. Top Tap, pet coupons. I like Potbot, just it's fun. I love it when domains are set up like Potbot. And if you spot a domain name and that I skip over, feel free to yell it out. I forgot to remove enom domains, so I'm just going to do them manually to not mention them. But enlisting.com, this sounds like a domain that's a trap. $257 currently, ends in 2 days. Enlisting.com, not sure how I feel about it. My gut tells me it's just not. Yeah, enlisted is what I would prefer to have. 1,100 is the amount of searches. Let's go check out the money. I'm actually a little shocked here. There's some money actually for this domain name, over $2 per click, 2 advertisers paying it. I have no idea what would be on this. I think enlisting, that sounds like government, military type stuff in the US. Who would want to? I don't want to own that. That sounds horrible. But let me just say, I do like ing as an ending of a domain name. Towing.com, of course, being our main one. One of the reasons I love ing as an ending is because in many circumstances, the singular and plural of a domain name share value. They share value over an industry. For example, let me see, dog groomer and doggroomers.com, dog groomers, they both share value over the keyword of dog groomer. Now, which one gets the lion's share of the value of that industry? It really depends on your use. I personally prefer the plural, but the only thing is it basically it's dividing it up. Now, when you have an ing ending like towing, there's not towings. Towings would be a garbage domain name. Somebody out there is probably paying way too much for it. So enlisting, not bad. It's an action, but in this case, enlisted. I'd like enlist. I would even prefer, even though the keywords, the keyword volume back here is not as good. Overall, though, it's at $257. I'll add it to my watch list. Seems cheap enough to be watched, at least. Yeah. Not sure what I'll bid on it. I doubt I'll go above 4 figures, which is always kind of, that's one of those thresholds. Under 1,000, I toss it around almost based on my gut feeling. But to go above 1,000, the data has to back it up. That is my threshold. That is my pain tolerance, my value tolerance. You have to set your own for that. Like, you can trust your gut. The only thing is unless you fine-tune your gut, been with us for numerous weeks, been learning the trade, you're probably going to end up going broke on a couple $100 domain names over and over and over again. So, and I don't want you to go broke. That's why we're here together. That's why we're doing this. Nick, you are welcome. Thanks for joining us. Always nice to have all of you with us, looking through expiring domain names. The more the merrier. I want domain names developed. I want them bringing benefit. Here we go. I want domain names that share the joy, right? We want to share the joy with our domain names. And I'm serious about that. Parts domains and undeveloped domain names are just there waiting to bring value to the world. And all of us are better off the more domains are developed. I see a world where we have enough domains developed that people type in domains again, like it used to be back in the old days. We've hit them with so many ads that they stopped wanting to do that. Digital Marketing Pro. I hate how long that is, 19 characters long. Let's go check out the keyword though. Domain to profit, digitalmarketingpro.com. Too much. Digital Marketing Pro, 180 searches, which is actually kind of surprising. No money, 1 advertiser. Actually kind of interesting here. Look at this. Digital marketing certification, digital marketing course. Certainly a pretty good phrase, digital marketing. I'd love to own digitalmarketing.com. Do not own it. So I have to look for those beachhead domains, those domain names that allow me to go after digital marketing as a keyword without actually owning the main keyword. So Digital Marketing Pro is not a bad domain. What would I do with it? What can you do with digitalmarketingpro.com? I like the idea of, like I do with many things, I like the directory idea. So you want to find out where you want to find digital marketing pros that work in your area. Maybe you're looking for a digital marketing pro to handle Facebook or Twitter ads or YouTube videos, whatever it is that you're looking for a digital marketing pro. I could see you finding them on digitalmarketingpro.com. Of course, you'd have to buy the domain name first. 2 days left on the auction. $530 is the current price. I don't know, pretty like it. Or even like profiles, Digital Marketing Pro, digital marketers can have their profiles on it. Something, a game like that. Bring value to somebody. Give them an easy way to show up and aggregate. Okay, let's see here. Some chat. Roxy joining in. Nice to have you with us. Thanks for saying hi, everybody. I love seeing all the chatting and chat. Like, if you're not joining us live, you're missing out on the conversations that happen here. So make sure you check out Discord, which let me get that QR code back up onto the screen there. So there you go. If you want to join us on Discord and keep the conversations going when Drew's not on the screen, you can check it out up over there. Export agent, real estate rewards. Real estate rewards. Loves food. Loves food. One of the things I don't like, and you probably know this from past years or past weeks, I don't like middle S's. Loves food. Love food. Loves, anyhow, we're going to skip over it. Not sure how I feel on that one. Accessbenefits.com. Sounds like something. Accessbenefits.com. You want to get to your benefits? Want to get to whatever that accessbenefits.com. Sounds like a thing, so it could be a thing. Access Benefits, $95 currently, ends in 2 days. And again, these are domain names. All the domains we're looking at are going to be expiring over the next week. So each week we look through expiring domains. The domains that we see, they're here this week, gone next week. We have all new domains each week. So you got to join us each week. And in some cases, they expire like during the show or right after, which is just one of the benefits of watching live in those cases. Access Benefits, there's somebody advertising for it. 51 cents per click. Not really much happening on it. There are some searches. Basically, I'm going to skip over it, other than what we just did there. So, Eco Foundation, Central Plumbing. Get a little larger over there. Record Services. Photoshop Brushes. Stock Calculator. Stock Calculator. Let's check that one out. I'm not sure if that's a thing. We won't know until we look at the search data. This one is one that ends tomorrow. So if this ends up being a thing, then you won't have much of an opportunity to get to it. Let's go check it out. What do you see on stockcalculator.com? I imagine stockcalculator.com, well, would be a calculator. Look at that, 23,000 searches, folks. 23,000 searches for Stock Calculator. And now we get to do the Control F trick. Let's highlight the words. In our browser, we do a Control F. And what that does is it highlights all the places that Stock Calculator's used. And you can see nothing really happening, but well, the main keyword, 23,000 searches, that seems pretty good. No advertisers, so the cost per click there of over $2, which is where I like to see it. Not setting any records there. But if you are in stocks, Stock Calculator, not entirely sure what you would put on it. Maybe you would have calculators to calculate the various I don't know. I'm not really a stock person. I'm a big fan of investing in myself versus in others, or in other businesses, I guess I should say. But 23,000 searches, I don't mind that. What was the domain going for? Ends tomorrow, $530 currently. That is one that I may be in on. I don't think I will go above 1,000 though, which I anticipate it will go above 1,000. That's just my gut. My gut says it's going to go for $2,000, $2,500 or so. Free notary. So here's the thing about free notary is probably a good domain name. Probably a decent amount of searches for it, as we'll check here in a second. 4 days left on the auction. $30 currently is what it is going for. And what I run into, or what I have an issue here, 720 searches. Somebody's actually paying to advertise. That's actually quite shocking, because the word free is not good. You don't want to have free in your domain name. Oh, wow, okay. But I do love seeing this. Free notary. So let's do what we did just a little bit ago. We're going to highlight the words, give it a Control F, and in this case, you can see what we're doing there is using the Find On Page search for our browser. And all these highlights now are places where this domain name shows up. The keywords of the domain name, free notary, all these other places include that. So it's not just the 720 searches for free notary that you have access to. You have 25,000 searches for free notary near me, which I haven't talked about it in a while. I feel like we haven't seen too many of these domains, but free notary near me is like magic keyword, because it means that people are looking for local, and local means they need you to aggregate all the notaries around them and show them local. In most cases, that means you get to implement the Local Legion 300. Local Legion 300 is something I've talked about many, many moons ago. It is the way you find your first 300 customers, finding one paying customer for each of the 300 plus cities in the United States that have a population over 100,000 people. Those are pretty big cities, and there's well over 300 of them, I think 314 or something. So you just need one paying customer for each of those cities. Voila, you have your first 300 customers. The issue I have is the word free. If everybody's looking for free, then realistically, not too many people want to pay to target a free keyword, which we see with this one, only one person actually paying, but maybe there's something there. Can't go wrong with tens of thousands of searches happening there. So, okay, freenotary.com, adding it to my watch list, $30 currently, and yes, that domain name will go up in price as the auction continues. Zion Capital. I want to say that's a big company. Fleet Week. Planning consultant numbers for. So these are GoDaddy expiring domain names. We filtered them down. We have just .com. We're only looking at .com, up to 3 words, English words. And yes, there are many other places you can find expiring domain names and domain name auctions. For the sake of this live show, we only look at GoDaddy. Well, typically mostly look at GoDaddy because they have the most. But we do look at other ones occasionally. So this is one of the things that you run into with expiring domain names. Basically, these are expiring domain names, and occasionally, often if it is a enom domain name, the person that has it renews it. When they renew it, this is what you get. It happens pretty frequently. let's see here. It was not a enom domain. That was somenotes.com that we were looking at. They renewed it. Good for them. They get to keep their domain name. Auction canceled. Moving on. So why do people end up letting their domain names go? Oh my goodness. Look at that, Chaz. FairfieldGlade.com is losing their domain name. Something tells me this will be renewed. FairfieldGlade.com, 6 days left on the auction. I only know that because it's a resort down in Tennessee, unless something's spelled wrong. So anyhow, funny to see it on there. Earlier, I also saw the Beach Water Park. That's here in Cincinnati. Grew up right next to that, the Beach Water Park. They lost their domain name too. So you gotta renew your domain names, folks. Ron in the house. Hey, Ron, from the towing.com world. Nice to have you. Let's see, lost again. I feel like I know kids that need to own lostagain.com. Lose their stuff all the time. Lose it in my driveway. Noah. Yeah, Matt's saying in the chat that the beach went out of business. They may have went out of business, but they still have those water slides over there, don't they? I think they'll be up sooner or later. Internetbillboards.com. That sounds like it could be a thing if it's not a thing already. 7 days left on the auction. What do you expect to find on internetbillboards.com? That's the thing. It's pretty open slate on that. But I could see there's a company called Blip, and they let you do ads on billboards, digital billboards, like the video ones. So I could see internet billboards being something related to that. 44 searches. 4 advertisers is what it's saying down here, but no money. Therefore, going to skip over this one for the most part. Looks like most of the keywords are just questions. So could have been something, could be something. Maybe you can get it for cheap if it's of interest to you. Wow Coffee could be a brand, maybe. Certified online. Oh, let me see here. Looking at buying Lost Again, but I guess it was already renewed. So there you go. Win some, you lose some. I lose a lot more than I win. Certified online. Certified online. That sounds like it could be a pretty good thing. Online certifications and things like that. Online certification, certified online. Could be an almost domain. Let's find out if it ever loads here. Certified online, $5 currently, ends in 3 days. I don't know, does certified online sound like a good thing or does it sound like a bad thing? Oh yeah, certified online. There's a point that it was kind of like, yeah, that's like a negative thing, not a positive. 44 searches for certified online. Well, this is what I do like to see this though. Even though the keyword volume's low, over $2 per click, 7 advertisers. I'm guessing people looking for these keywords here: online certification, certifications online. Only thing is this is not. It's an almost domain name. So if you remember, just a moment ago, I was like certified online, like it's a close domain. Watch out if you're bidding on this one. It may not be as good as what, well, it's just not, it's a tweener domain. I'm going to add it to my watch list. Probably worth maybe $100, $200 bid. Not sure if I would ever get it to develop though. Simple Create Safety Strategies. Sounds like a really good blog. Anybody in their safety industry, safetystrategies.com. Social Bunny. Is that Social Bunny? Isn't there Social Butterfly is the saying. Driving News. $12 currently, drivingnews.com. You want to put together a blog, driving, whether it's trucking or whatever it is, driving news. 2 days left on it, $12 currently. This gives me an opportunity to let you say, do not bid on this domain name. Do not bid. You can see right over here, there's no bids currently on this domain name. Once bids start to happen on a domain name, it is highly likely that they will get more bids. So if you're going to bid on this and there's no bids, you can either wait until the auction ends and then buy it for $50, and then the price on that buy now goes down over the course of like 4 days. In this case, you can also bid on it, but if you're going to bid, you want to wait as close to 5 minutes as possible to try your luck at it. Drivingnews.com, pretty good domain name. Surprised there's no bids on that yet. Search like software, land builders. I like that actually. That one probably has some good keyword data. Let's check it out. 6 days left on landbuilders.com. I actually know a guy in Oklahoma City who builds houses on land that you already own, so I have to let him know about this one. Sounds like a domain name that he'd be interested in. Landbuilders.com. Although land builders, do you build land? You don't land. And it's starting to sound like an almost domain name in my head. No advertisers, no money. Let's see if there's a Control F happening here to, no, not really much happening. Oh yeah, well there you go, landbuilders.com, sounds like it's a thing, not really seeing much with it. I'll add it to my watch list, although $166, probably high enough. Coffee Smart. Average hair. And since things are moving along pretty good, we'll give it, we'll go down through this page, we'll give, look at the next page or so, and then it looks like we'll have time both for a good amount of questions, as well as we'll go diving into some bargain domain names. So we'll change our filters up and see what we can find. Fencingcompanies.com, I believe we talked about that one last week. Moving on to page 2. Okay, so one thing I just want to point out, we're on to the next 200 domain names. The valuation here, they're still up over 3,000. Valuation is not the value of the domain name, it's more of just a order number to kind of bring the best ones to the top. I like to look through domains all the way down to around $1,600 in value, sometimes well past that. A lot of times to look at those lower price domains, I use keyword searches, so I don't just look down the list like I am now. I'll look at searching by keywords that I follow. For example, towing or storage or various domain related keywords. And then I'll look really deep on those domains versus just looking at lists of domains. One thing is for certain, the longer you look at a list of domains, the more likely you are to make a mistake and think something is better than what it is. So if you see something, check it out on SpyFu, check it out in keyword data, but then also know the longer you look, the more likely you are to think garbage domains are better than what they are. Floor Score. Floor Score. It sounds like a domain name that Abraham Lincoln should be the mascot for. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. GoDaddy, where'd you go? Where'd you go, GoDaddy? Where'd you go? Alrighty. Let's see here. Is that this laptop losing its connection? No, SpyFu seems to be back up or up. GoDaddy, it's 3 o'clock, man. You gotta be up. Come on. Come on. Come on. GoDaddy. Come on. Check your internet connection. Now, how do I get to the dinosaur game? can't a brother just play some games while we wait? I'm just kidding. Okay. Floor score. Let's try clicking on it again. Well, the struggle's real. GoDaddy seems to be down for me. Bad time. Coming up for you in Arizona, for sure. Let me see some of this chat coming in. I like the exact. So Ian mentioning likes to sleep on a domain name before bidding and buying. So smart. Like wait, don't like. That's the more you look at these domain names, the more likely you're going to think that a bad domain name is good. I add a lot of domain names to my watch list. This is something I've been doing only over the last few months. I used to use the stars here on expired domains, but I just would forget to go back and look at those lists. So I started to just add like any domain I'm interested in to my watch list on GoDaddy, and then if I know I don't want it, I just delete it. But sometimes, like, the domain will sit there and it will go through auction, nobody buys it, and then it's for sale for $50. And then I'm kind of like, I don't like it for $50. Then I ask myself, would I hand register this domain name? And if the answer is no, I delete it. If I wouldn't hand register it, why am I even looking at that domain name as of this point? That question is very helpful. But yeah, sleeping on it is certainly going to protect you. You have to make your money by not buying garbage domains. That's how you make money in domains, is avoiding the bad ones. Buy the domains that you can develop, make money off of, or sell. Have somebody in mind, have specific markets in mind if you're going to buy something to sell. Yeah. Okay, Dirt Therapy. Oh, let's see here. What were we looking at? I was trying to look at a domain name, then GoDaddy went down. Okay, we're back up. Floor Score is what it was. Abraham Lincoln's flooring company. Floor Score. I love it. Is that as funny to anybody else as me? Okay. Okay. Chat. Hey, there we go. ToeForce Network found the chat. Yes, over on YouTube is the main place for the chat. I guess I can put that up. There you go. Yeah, YouTube. You can chat from anywhere, but the main chat where everybody joins us is over on YouTube. Breathe Up. Transparent markets. Sounds like a thing. One of the things I will mention on like transparentmarkets.com, if I type that into SpyFu, chances are there is keyword data. This is where it comes down to think about the domain name. I like a domain name to be color by number. Does it paint a picture of what it should have on it? And does that picture look like something you want to create, or that would also make money? Transparent markets, I'm sure you could put something on there that would really help a lot of people out, but do you want to pay money for a domain name, then do a big public service thing? Like, it's great if you're into that thing, but realistically, this is domain to profit, not necessarily domain to be nice about transparent markets. So, I don't know, I think it's kind of ironic that I'm saying that you have to think of it. If you love it, do it. That's why I do domain to profit. It doesn't have to always be about making money, but if you're here for domain investing, don't go buying domains just because it has to have a path to profit. Sensualist. Is that a real thing? Because that sounds like it'd be a good domain. Sensualist.com ends tomorrow, $41 currently. I don't know if it's a thing until right here. We're going over to spyfu.com, typing it in. Nope, not really a thing. Especially because it's plural. So the singular does appear to be a thing. Sensualist.com, or Sensualist would be 1,600 searches. But sensualists The plural is not getting much traffic. No money down here, therefore, pretty much, if you like it, you can like it. Maybe it's you and your buddies getting together and blogging about things that are sensualist or something. But certainly not a money-making domain name as far as I see it. So moving on. I did add it to my list, though. That does mean it's probably going to be considered in the future. You'll see me do that a lot. It doesn't mean it's anything major. I bid a couple $100 on a lot of domain names. Well, there you go. Force app, ToeForce, or yeah, there you can maybe look at getting forceapp.com. I don't know what you would do with it. I will say that I own and get offers on domain names that end in app pretty frequently. They're not big offers though. So $22 currently, ends in 6 days, forceapp.com. I don't know what that app would do. Force app. Name database. Piano Guys. I like that one. I don't know what that. Sing me a song, oh piano guys. I own pianolounge.com. 5 days left on the auction. $184 currently. Reading is hard. Let's go check out the keyword data. Again, we go over to SpyFu. I don't expect there to be any keyword data here. Oh my dear goodness. Doop. I love being proven wrong. That is why we check the keyword data. Usually you're proven wrong, you think something's great and it ends up being crap. In this case, Piano Guys, 15,000 searches over there, 15,000 searches. Now the question becomes, is there money? Let's go check out. Okay, there's a little bit of money. 4 advertisers, 54 cents happening with it. Now the question becomes, why? Why are there, who are the Piano Guys? So I guess they're a thing. So there you go. Piano Guys is a thing. In this case, whenever it's not a generic keyword, so Piano Guys, that's kind of generic. The only thing is you do have to worry about somebody's brand. So in that case, you're going to want to go diving into the trademark search. Okay, yeah. Hey, look at that. They're coming to the Taft Theater. That's a Cincinnati one. Okay, the Piano Guys. So they will have, I'm sure, a trademark on the Piano Guys. In fact, if you look down here, TM, see that? Boom. They already have a trademark on it. Now, what does that mean? They don't have probably a trademark for Piano Guys, but if they and when they try to expand their trademark, you can be getting into headaches and stuff. I wouldn't mess with it. However, I'm guessing they're going to be bidding on it. Piano Guys, 15,000 searches. Those searches come because I'm guessing the Piano Guys. So $184 currently. I'm not even adding it to my watch list. I don't want to mess with trademarks. One of the most expensive lawsuits I've ever had to mess with was a stupid trademark. A stupid trademark thing. It was like exhausting. Ended up costing like a fortune just for them to give. Anyhow, yay. I should out them. I'm out of the period of time that I couldn't talk about it. So it's one of the reasons I hate big businesses. I had a company literally sit across from a table and say, oh, this is how we expand our business. This is how we grow our business, is by suing smaller businesses. Like, anyhow, my goodness. Okay. I mean, that right there, to have a business tell you that that's something they do on purpose, like smartening, transaction sync, mood project. Okay, I'm going to give it a couple more page downs, and we are going to go change up and look. I'm going to show you how to change some filters. We'll go look for some deals. This is one of the roofing doctors. If that was roofing doctor, I guarantee there's a company out there called that. File mix weed casters. These are starting to go really, really badly. Rec bags? Maybe, maybe not. I'm only looking at rec bags because I saw Ron showed up here, so maybe that's something he's interested in. Recbags.com, what are they? Well, I know that there are airbags in towing. They use them to basically slide under tractor trailers and stuff and to lift them to create space with a bunch of hydraulics and air. So rec bags could be a option. No money happening at no advertisers. Yeah. I'll add it to my watch list. Not sure if I'll mess with it. Ends in 4 days, recbags.com. Let me summarize the domains that we have looked at so far so I can close them up and free up some resources. Then we will check. Let me know of any questions that you have in the chat. I'll come to those, as well as we will change some of the filters and look for specific industries if you want to let me know that in the chat as well. Lots of fun stuff coming your way. Stick with me. Recbags.com, we just talked about it, ends in 4 days, $12 currently. Wait until the last minute to bid if you're going to bid on it. Piano guys, you're getting into trademark stuff. There is a band called that, $184 currently. Guarantee it goes for a decent amount because people tend to bid on trademark stuff. Don't do it, it's a headache. Sensualist.com, add it to my watch list, ends tomorrow, $41 currently. These are all expiring domain names. These are all domains that are going to auction. If the auction ends and you're the high bidder, you win it. The previous owner let expire for whatever reason. Floor Score, it's Abraham Lincoln's flooring company. Ends in 1 day, $15 currently. Landbuilders.com wasn't as good as what I had hoped. 6 days, $160. Landbuilders.com. Driving News. I mean, what about drivingnews.com? $12, ends in 2 days. This one will sell, and I will bid on that one. I like it. Not even a news fan of domains, but Certified Online, $45 currently, ends in 3 days. I don't know what I think about it, but it had some keyword data and potential to do stuff with. Internetbillboards.com sounded better than it actually looked. Not really much happening with it keyword-wise, but internet billboards, I can see it being a thing. You can make it a thing. Buy the domain name. Ends in 7 days, $17 currently. Not even adding it to my watch list, but you might be interested. Free Notary. This one is probably one of my favorite domain names of the day. I don't like the word free. I avoid domain names with free in it at all costs. However, Free Notary near me was really highly searched, and getting access to those industries I do like to do. So that is what our business model that we use on towing.com, finding local services near you. It is one of the best things. That's one of the reasons I like this domain. $30 currently, ends in 4 days, freenotary.com. Stockcalculator.com, stocks, money, right? There's all kinds of money. People invest in that. Stockcalculator.com. I'm sure it's a thing. Not for me. $530 currently, ends tomorrow. Stockcalculator.com. Access benefits, skipping over. Digital Marketing Pro could be a directory. Digital Marketing Pros. Not even adding it to my watch list, I don't think. Maybe I will, but $530 already over my price range. Ends in 2 days. Enlisting.com, pretty good domain name. Like the ing ending. $257, ends in 2 days. BreakingGround.com. Somebody mentioned the construction company angle, which I think is a pretty darn good angle. Could also see it for, construction development companies and things. 5 days currently left on the auction. $426 the current bid. Freshmint.com. My wife would love this one. She is a mint lover, grows it like crazy, which it's actually easy to grow, so I'm not sure how much money there is for it. But freshmint.com ends in 2 days, up $1,400 pretty much. So skipping over that one. Taggers.com, up over $5,000. Not sure what it is, but there you go. Taggers.com over ends in 5 days. Okay, so let's go back out to our saved searches. So now what we want to do is we're going to set it up and start into as if it's brand new. We have 5 minutes. I'll show you how to do this. When you go to expiredomains.net, you come over to Marketplace Domains. We are typically looking right here at GoDaddy, Marketplace Domains, GoDaddy, expired domains right here. Let's not, with 5 minutes left, let's just go check Dropcatch. We'll check some of these other ones. Dropcatch.com. They grab domain names as they expire. They try to catch them, so they're renewing. These are not available on GoDaddy auctions. Completely a different thing. So we will come here, and I believe I usually get it. So one of the things we do not get with Dropcatch domains is these domain names are there's no appraisal. So you'll see there's no appraisal up at the top. In those cases, you have to order by other things. So we have, a lot of times I'll use this column here. This is the number of top-level domains, the extensions, .com, for example. The number of top-level domains that it's registered in, 28, it's a pretty high number. You can order by that. Another thing I do with Dropcatch specifically is just order by price, and what that does is show you the ones that are getting bids already. Highpotential.com. Is that fidget? That's not how you spell fidget, right? Fig-it. Let's go find out. Certainly that's not how you spell that. If so, this domain name will probably end up being, I don't even know what that is. Hopefully I'm not about to show adult content or anything anywhere. Okay, I guess that's a typo for fidget. That's kind of what I've expected. It's always risky to type in stuff. But, you know, all in the name of science. GPT art, I'm guessing that's going to go for big money. Hey, money. Hey, money, money, money. Ownership.net, because we did not filter on extensions. Okay, not really much happening there. Let me check out chat. This is one of those, L Couch asking, if you don't build a site on a trademark domain, can they still cause issues, or only if it's a site? That's not a question I even want to answer. Like it's so complicated is what it comes down to. You buying that domain name, knowing that there's a trademark, that alone creates issues. I know that there's paths to being able to do it. That is not what I care to play around with, though. Like I said, I've had to spend a fortune on trademark stuff. Don't do it to yourself. It's horrible, horrible. Okay, and realistically, most of those searches for Piano Guys are because of the band, so the value for that domain name is coming from that. So let's see if there's anything else I want to pull up here. Not really seeing anything. Alrighty. Well, just so happens to be 4 o'clock, so we can dive into more. We'll do it next week. Or you can always reach out to me over on Twitter and we can chat. Or, look at that. We just so happen to have a Discord link up there if you want to talk about domain names throughout the week. The community is out there chatting about domain names. Join us over there. On that note, I think I am ready to sit down and call it a day. Yeah, I am. Okay. Well, I am Drew Wash. This is Domain to Profit, where we look through this week's expiring domain names. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you join us next week, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, as we come back together to look through expiring domain names. Until then, I will see you next week. Take care.